Hi friends, today we're going to do the other part of our beehive project. So now that we have our bees drawn, we're going to cut them out. But notice that Miss Borders is not cutting all the way to the edge of some of the parts of my bee. I'm leaving some white space because we don't want to cut off our antenna or our legs. Just making sure that we can see all of the parts of our bee without cutting them off. Now we need a place for our bee to sit. So you're going to have a white piece of paper and a template. So a template is something that you use to trace a shape onto a paper. So this is a hexagon. It has 6 sides, and that is the shape of honeycomb. So you're going to take your template, set it on your paper. You're going to hold it still with one hand and trace around it in pencil with another. When you have one traced, you're going to move it down. You're going to line up the bottom of your pencil line with the top of your template and keep tracing more and more hexagons. So a beehive has hexagons all put together, so they all need to be connected and traced as carefully as you can so that we can have a whole page full of a beehive. Make sure you also get the edges of your paper, but fill up the whole thing. Now it's time to trace all of your lines so that we can see all of our nice big bold lines of our hexagons that we worked so hard to trace. And this will help fix any mistakes that you made with pencil. And once it's all traced in, then we will start adding color. Alright, now we are going to use just 2 colors, yellow and brown. So we want to make it look like our beehive is 3D, and the honeycomb that we just drew has some depth to it. Part of it is deeper than the other. So we're using our brown to color the outside of our hexagon brown, and then coloring yellow on the inside and over that brown. So it looks like it's deep. It looks like the yellow is at the bottom of that hexagon. So you are using brown on the outer edges of your hexagon and yellow on the inside. That's what's going to make it look 3D. And you're going to do this with all of the hexagons on your page so that they all look the same. So taking that brown, coloring hard on the edges of that hexagon, then coloring yellow in the middle and a little bit over that brown that you just colored. And we're doing that for your whole paper. Now if you get to the end of your crayon and it won't color anymore, you can always peel some of the paper off so you can get to more of the crayon, because all up under that paper is crayon that works. And if you need help peeling the paper, don't be afraid to come ask Miss Borders, and I will use my nails to tear off that paper for you so you can get to the yellow and finish coloring. Once your whole beehive is colored and your bees are cut out, then it's time to assemble it. We're going to take our bees and glue them onto the beautiful hive that we made. So you're going to take some liquid glue, and you are going to put a tiny bit on your bee. You can do a very thin line all over the back of your bee and then stick it on your paper. You got to be very careful picking it up and placing it on your paper and then pressing it down. But sometimes that puts a little bit too much glue and then it gets off of the edges and onto our other paper and our hands. So another way that you can do that to add the glue is to take your glue and add dots. So you can add little dots all over the back of your bee. It's still putting glue back there, but it's in little small places instead of big lines so that there's less glue being wasted on the edges when we press it to our paper. Take your last bee, press it onto your paper, and you are done with your beehive. Great job!